Hey YouTubers, 95 Speed GTA. Today we're going to be doing a battery replacement on a 2007 Nissan Sentra 2.0. Just a 2.0 model, not the S or anything like that. This is pretty much the base model. Her name is Maggie. This is one of my babies. And what we have here is we have a battery that's kind of at the end of its life. The battery was installed in January of 2011. And first of all, it's the wrong battery that's in the car. That's one, and two, it's a cheapo battery. And cheapo batteries usually have a lifespan of 3 to 5 years. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the battery, but I'm going to show you. It could be an easy thing, or you can make it a very detailed thing. It just depends on what you have and what you want to do. So pretty much, this video is for anybody that is interested in getting into working on cars and learning more about their cars and doing it yourself. Servicing a battery could be a million things. Checking to see if the battery's good, checking to see if the battery's bad, cleaning the battery, maintaining the battery terminals. It could be a whole giant thing. So I'm going to show you guys not only how to change the battery, but all the tools that are available to you as a consumer in case you want to start getting involved in fixing cars and just doing routine maintenance by yourself. This is a battery load tester. It's made by Schumacher, or however it's pronounced. But this is an analog battery tester, and pretty much how it works is you put the positive to the positive, the negative to the negative, and you put a load on the battery for 10 seconds. Now the load is very similar to like a toaster oven or an oven. There are little heating elements in here that if you actually hold these on for too long, you'll start to see them glow red. You really don't want that to happen because it's not meant to heat your house or heat up your cheese sandwich. But pretty much it has an illustration of how the load tester works, how to read the analog readout, and it's a pretty good tool. Other things that you could use to test your battery is a multimeter. Now, I'll show you. Pretty much what I use multimeters for, as far as electrical systems and car batteries go, is if you have a draw, which I'm going to make another video on this. I use this to test for something called parasitic draw. And basically what that is it's a circuit open in your car, or a broken circuit, a broken wire, or something that's staying on that's not supposed to be staying on anymore. And I would use something like this. This is also something that you could purchase on eBay for like 15 bucks. In stores these are like $30, $40. Actually, for this particular model it's like $30 or $40. And it comes in really handy. You can do a lot of stuff with this. So let's take a look at what's on the cart. Pretty much what we have on the cart here is everything to replace, maintain, service your car battery. We have our socket set, and we have our one wrench that we're actually going to need for this type of application. And these are pretty good. These are gear wrenches. It's a ratcheting wrench, one of the greatest things in the world. The only problem is it's really hard to use this on some battery terminals, so that's the only downfall with that. But I already showed you about the load tester, which we're going to use in a minute. Here's our new battery. Right here are pretty much battery terminal cleaning products and protector products. One's a cleaner. This is the protection spray. This is pretty much what you put on it after you're done cleaning it. This is the cleaner, and there's a process behind that, and luckily for you we have to clean the terminals on here. This is another form of cleaning your battery terminals if you don't want to use the sprays. Sometimes, in some instances, the battery terminals are so disgusting and so caked up with like almost like a powder, and you have to use these. But if you don't want to, you can go to the auto parts store. This was $5, and basically what it is it's a reamer and it's a battery terminal cleaner. And pretty much what you do is you just put it on the top post and you give it a spin, and it cleans it up and it cuts it a little bit, and this cleans the inside of the battery terminal. Another cool tool these are all things you can buy online. This is another battery terminal cleaner. This is for the top post. You set it up on top and turn it. This is for the inside of the battery terminal. So there's two different types of cleaners that you could buy. Another cool thing is if you have a GM car with side post battery terminals, this is really, really good to have. This has a torque limit on it, and it doesn't let you over tighten the battery terminals, because if you tighten the battery terminals into the battery, you're tightening into lead. The threads inside the battery are lead, and they don't have the same type of tolerance that steel does. So this is a pretty good tool to have. Somebody gave this to me, so I don't know how much they go for, but like I said, if you're interested in maintaining your car yourself, and you got a GM car or a car with a side battery terminal post, this is a really cool thing to get. You'll see in some like safety videos, they say to get goggles and stuff when you're working with batteries or anything like that. I'll be honest with you, I never ever use these. Maybe if I'm underneath the car drilling something or cleaning something, because you don't want to get it in your eyes. But if you're ever in a position to where, like on some diesel vans where you're changing the battery out, some of the batteries, like the auxiliary battery or whatever, they're found underneath the car. So you may want to invest in a set of eye goggles, because you do not want that acid in your eyes, nor do you want that powder stuff on there. And some batteries, especially ones that sit underneath a car or a truck or anything, they get really, really contaminated. A nice light to work with. This I got for 20 bucks at the auto parts store. And this, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen in my videos. This is my Makita. This makes life so much easier. It's basically a non-air electronic impact gun. Makes life a lot easier. So here we are at the battery. Now, the best thing about this is everything that needs to be removed is a 10mm on this car. We got a negative terminal, positive terminal, and we got these two right here. Now, if you guys didn't hear me because of that obnoxious fucking loud car, I'll repeat it for you. Everything here is a 10mm. Everything you need to remove is a 10mm bolt. 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, and 10 mil. If you guys are wondering how to get this up, all you do is you pinch these retainers, slide it back, and I'll show you how to get it off. What we're going to do first now is we're going to remove the negative battery terminal and then the positive. As I said, it's your choice, your 10mm wrench or your 10mm socket on a ratchet, or one of these, if you can fit it in the spot, which luckily I can. There's the negative, and you see how there's residue inside? You want to clean that up. Now, on the Nissan Sentras, to remove the positive terminal, which I'm going to bring you guys in just a little bit. Alright, there we go. You're going to see a 10mm bolt here, and this is a 12 or a 13 right here. You don't want to touch this one. You leave this one alone. You just put it on here, loosen it just a little bit. As soon as you start cranking at it, you'll see it moving around, and you just wiggle it up. I think I gotta hit it one more time. Just wiggle it up, close that, put it off to the side. Now your battery terminals are removed. See how these, now if we weren't replacing the batteries, what I would do is I would clean all this crap off. You don't want any of this. And not only that, you see that the lead is getting a little bit dull. Another good thing to have when you're working with lead is to get these gloves. You really don't want to touch lead. Lead's poisonous. So we got our 10mm, and like I said, you could use whatever you feel. Let me move you guys back. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the two 10mm nuts, which appear to be loose a little bit. I would definitely use a deep socket for this, and unless you want to be there forever with the wrench. Now, it's important that you do not lose any of this. Doesn't want to go out. We got a little barrel right here. We don't want to lose that, so we're going to put it right up here. Or, if you got a tray or something like that, put it up on the tray. We're going to remove this, too. Now carefully lift that. Sometimes these fall out of their place. So we're just going to put them off to the side because you don't want to lose them into the bottom of the car. And we're going to make sure that this is okay. A lot of times the batteries rot these out. And it usually happens right around here, or actually right in the middle, because all the acid eats at it for a long time. So this one's okay, so we're going to leave it alone. And now that's pretty much it. We're going to move this out of the way. We have our little holder here, and what we do is we just lift up and out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the tray. So this is pretty much how it looks without a battery. We see that the tray is clean. There's really nothing on here, like this. There's just a little bit of dust or whatever. If you want to grab a rag and just clean that out, that's fine. I'm going to take a look at the terminals. Now you see that red stuff on there? That's a battery terminal protector. So we're going to clean that all off. We're also going to check the terminals too. These terminals, they like to crack. And they like to crack right here and right around here. So you just check for splits. And I don't see any splits on this. Now I want to show you on these Sentras, these battery terminals, sometimes they get not only cracked, but they also get loose. Like loose to the point where you can't put them on a battery anymore. Now there's two ways you can go about this. For a while, everybody always said that these positive battery terminals were dealer only. Because as you can see, the battery terminal is more than just a terminal. We got fuses on here too, and we got two terminals that connect to it. This is not true. Remember I said not to touch this? Well, if you're replacing the battery terminal, what you do is you loosen this one up, and the actual terminal itself is just this part. And once you loosen this slides right out. Naturally, you would have to move the black piece out of the way. I'm actually not too sure because I never did a terminal on this car, but I have on my Altima. And it's not dealer only. You can find these on eBay for like $5. So obviously this has to be cleaned too. So we're going to put this all off to the side and we're going to start cleaning. For the Sentra, we're going to use this. We're going to use this type of cleaner and we're going to clean the inside of the terminals out. We're going to use this part and we're going to go in here. And this is pretty much all you do. You're going to clean around here. You don't necessarily have to. You basically want to get the contact points. That's pretty much what it's all about. Grab the positive. Now if you ever notice that when you put the new battery in, the terminals are so tight that it doesn't exactly fit, this is where this comes in. This tool right here will actually shave the battery, not the battery terminal, but the battery post down a little bit, so you can get the terminal on there. Or you could use this, stick it in there and turn it, and basically it reams out the hole a little bit. We're probably not going to have this problem with this car, but we got the tool if it happens. So here's our new battery. We're going to install it. And for any of you that are wondering the type of battery to get for your Nissan Sentra 2.0 and you want to go to AutoZone, this is a Duralast Gold 35-DLG battery, which gives you 800 cranking amps, a reserve capacity of 100, and 640 cold cranking amps. That's actually pretty good. And the reason why I buy my batteries from AutoZone is because this battery has a 5-year warranty on it. Move the terminals off to the side. I'm going to drop the battery in. Now this is kind of important if you've never done this before. You got to make sure that you put that, first of all, you get the right battery and you put the battery in the way it's supposed to go. Now you may think that's easy, it's only one way it can go in. That is true, but I'm talking about the terminals. You want to make sure you put the negative to the negative and the positive to the positive. Some cars don't have this. Or maybe your Sentra has been butchered by so many people, or this has fallen off where maybe you can't tell now. So it's always good that before you start, you mark off what came to where. And if you can't tell by the battery terminal, before you take your battery off, your old battery, just look on all batteries, sometimes on the post and sometimes on here, it's got a positive and a negative on it. So now, let me just make sure you guys get a good view. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this off. This is a protective cap. Move that off to the side. We're not going to put this on first. We're going to put our positive on first. Fits over snugly. And what you want to do is when you put the battery post, when you put the terminal on the post, what you want to do is while you're pushing down, give it a wiggle back and forth so it seats firmly down on the battery. And once you do that, we're going to tighten it. And then after we tighten it, we're going to give it a wiggle to see if the battery terminal moves at all. You don't want it to move at all. You got to have a nice tight contact on there, and that's what we got. Wiggle it. Perfect. It's optional if you want to use these. These are battery terminal protectors. I don't use them. I just wanted to show you these for illustration purposes. I will use these on some cars, like a customer's car or whatever, but this isn't a customer's car. This is my own car, so I'm telling you, I don't use them. Before we close everything up, what we're going to do is, since we clean the terminals manually, and we're not going to use the battery cleaner, we're going to use the battery terminal protector. Some reputable shops, what they do is when you go in for an oil service, they change the oil and they change the filter, top off all fluids, and they clean your battery terminals and they put this stuff on. Some other shops don't want to be bothered with it, want to charge you $25 to $40 for an oil change the oil and the filter if you're lucky, and throw you out the door. But this is what I do for all of my cars and for my customers, is I put the battery protector on there after it's cleaned. Shake the can up. Now that's on there, we can close this up. Battery's installed. Now all we have to do is put down the mounting hardware, and that's it. Final thing I want to show you guys. You'll see that there's a difference in the J-hooks. One is longer than the other. Now when you get another battery for the car, it may obsolete these barrels, and I'll show you why in a second. Your longer hook, and this hook is going to go right back here. You might have to move your battery over a little bit just to center it. There's going to be a harness in the back that's going to get in your way a little bit if you're doing this at daytime or nighttime. And there's your first one. This retainer piece, as you see, there's a flush side, and there's a one that goes down, and there's going to be an arrow, and the arrow is pointing towards the front of the vehicle. So this goes to the front of the battery. We're going to put this on the back. This gets a little tricky. You got to hold it with one hand. Make sure you get it underneath the battery holder. And while you're doing this, you got to make sure that this J-hook doesn't come out of its spot. Now for the front, it's the shorter one. And what you want to do is you want to take it, dip it down, put it through, get the J-hook in its hole, and now as you can see, you don't need the barrel anymore because of the battery. This isn't the wrong battery, it's just sometimes when you put aftermarket parts in there, such as a battery, it may be manufactured different than the way Nissan manufactured it. Well, the way whatever company manufactured the batteries for Nissan back in 2007. So now we got them in, and what we're going to do is we're going to straighten it up. Move the battery over just a little bit. Hand thread them in. and then lock it down. Here we go. Battery job is done. And that's how you put it in. Now, since we got everything in, I'm going to put this off to the side. We're going to hold on to this in case we ever need it again for anything. Now we're going to give it a test. Now that we know we got a really good battery, we're ready for the winter. And a good battery, just to test it out to show you guys, which I'm going to do a whole video on all these tools, is you put this on the positive terminal and you put this one on the negative terminal. Here it is, reading 12.3 volts. You guys can see that. You put a load on it, it stays right in the green zone. So YouTubers, that's pretty much how you change a battery on a 2007 Nissan Sentra 2.0. The battery process is pretty much the same on almost every vehicle. There are some vehicles, like for instance the Chrysler Sebring of the 90s and the Plymouth Breeze of the 90s, where you actually have to take off the driver's side front wheel to get to the battery, because the battery is actually under the car by the wheel well. But generally speaking, a top post battery and many side post batteries, that's pretty much the process on how to change a battery on a car. YouTubers, this is 95-speed GTA. If you have any questions, anything you're stuck on, whatever the case may be, please write in the comment box or send me a message. And my email address should be right there. Thanks again for watching. And my next video, I'm going to show you guys about using tools on how to save your battery, check your battery, and maintain your battery. Thanks for watching.